Success does not come to those who wait. It does not come to those who hesitate. It does not come to those who overthink or sit in silence, hoping for a spark. It comes to those who move. Now, not later, not tomorrow. Now, regardless of fear, regardless of doubt, regardless of whether the mood is right or the plan is perfect. While most are waiting, a few are working. While most are hoping, a few are executing. And in the cold space between thought and action, that's where the line is drawn. Between the ones who live and the ones who just exist. Your mind wants to wait. It wants safety. It wants predictability. But safety is a coffin, and predictability is a cage. You think waiting will make it easier. You think hesitation will bring clarity, but it never does. What it brings is rust, decay, regret. You are not confused. You are not uncertain. You are afraid, and that fear is a liar, because the truth is brutal, but pure. You either move or you rot. You either take action or you vanish into mediocrity. This world, it owes you nothing, and it is not waiting for you to get ready. So I'll ask you one question, a question that echoes in every moment of hesitation. Let's be clear. Every time you hesitate, you hand your power over to weakness. Every time you debate with yourself, you give comfort a vote, and comfort always votes for your downfall. There is no glory in waiting, no strength in overthinking, only erosion. The mind whispers, maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe when I feel better. But winners, they don't negotiate with emotions. They don't seek permission from their feelings. They don't ask for motivation. They command action, decision over emotion. That is the law of those who rise. You decide what you will do, then you do it. No second thoughts, no emotional input, no delay. Emotion is not your guide. It is your test. You wake up tired, you still move. You feel doubt, you still execute. You feel fear, you press forward anyway. The ones who win are not the ones who feel ready. They are the ones who move regardless of how they feel. And here's the truth. Hesitation is a lie. It disguises itself as logic, as caution, as strategy. But underneath it's fear, wearing a mask. You already know what needs to be done. You've always known. So stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you need more time. Stop negotiating with weakness. Right now, pause this. Set a timer for 5 seconds. Do 10 push-up over. Right now. Feel that? That's who you really are. Not the voice that doubts. Not the comfort that delays. But the fire that moves. That acts. That breaks the cycle. And the more you act fast, the quieter hesitation becomes. Until it vanishes. Because you killed it. With action. So from now on, when the decision is made, you move. Immediately. Every time. No debate. No delay. No emotion. Just war. And forward motion. Most people live as prisoners to their emotions. They only act when they feel like it. Only move when it's easy. Only show up when it's convenient. And that's why they fail. Because emotions are unstable. They lie. They shift. They betray you at the exact moment action is required. You can't build your future on a feeling. You need something stronger, something colder. You need discipline. Discipline over mood. That's the code. That's the dividing line between those who break through and those who break down. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for the weather to be right. Discipline doesn't take days off. It shows up. It executes. It finishes what it starts. Ask yourself, does a soldier wait until they feel like going to war? Does a surgeon hesitate because they're not in the mood to operate? Does a champion only train when they're inspired? No, they move regardless, and that's why they lead while others follow. You must become that. You must be the type who moves before the mood, because when you move first, the feelings follow. This is the secret most never learn. Action creates emotion, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel powerful. You act powerfully, and power follows. You don't wait to feel confident. You take the shot, and confidence is built through the doing. Move first, feel later, because waiting to feel right is the trap that keeps you exactly where you are. It is the chain that wraps itself around your potential. You think you need to feel good to take action? No. You need to take action to feel good. You think discipline is something you're born with? No. It's something you forge. In pain, in resistance, in the cold, early mornings when no one is watching. So here's the test. What will you do when you're tired? What will you do when you're uninspired? What will you do when everything in your body says stop? Because that is where your destiny is decided. Not when it's easy, not when you feel like it, but when it's hell, and you keep moving anyway. So remember this, you are not ruled by emotion, you are ruled by decision. And the only feeling that matters is the one that comes after you win. But you don't get that feeling unless you move through the fire without it. Discipline, over everything, every time. At the core of every action is identity. You don't do what you do by accident. You do what you believe someone like you does. And that belief is everything. You think you're lazy? You'll act lazy. You think you always give up? You'll fold again. You think you're inconsistent? You'll sabotage every streak you build. You are what you repeat. And what you repeat becomes who you are. So if you want to change your life, you must first change your self-image. You must kill the version of you that hesitates. You must bury the identity that negotiates. You must erase the belief that you are someone who quits. And you must replace it with something sharper, something built for war, something unstoppable. You must become the one who executes, every time, without exception. The identity of a finisher, the one who follows through when it's hard, the one who acts when others stall, the one who says, I'm doing it, and it gets done. No delay, no excuses, no internal debate. You act not because it feels right, but because that's who you are. Because here's what most people never understand. Your identity is not fixed. It is trained. It is sculpted in repetition. Every time you take action, you tell your mind, this is who I am. Every time you show up, you etch that belief deeper. Every time you move without hesitation, you're casting a vote for the person you want to be. And every time you delay, you vote for the coward. Every time you quit, you reinforce the imposter. Every time you let fear win, you sharpen the chains that already bind you. So ask yourself, who am I becoming? With every small choice, with every quiet decision, who am I reinforcing? You want to be free. You want to be powerful. Then become the one who moves. Become the one who finishes. Because when taking action becomes who you are, success becomes automatic, not effortless, automatic. That's why disciplined people seem unstoppable. It's not willpower, it's identity. It's built in. So here's your mission. Start today. Start small, but start as the person who finishes. Wake up when you said you would. Follow through on your word. Stack the wins, one by one. Because every time you act, you are rewriting your story. And that story ends with victory, or it ends in regret. There is no in between. So decide now. No more hesitation. No more old labels. No more believing you are the person who can't. From this moment forward, you are the one who does, who finishes, who moves first, who leaves no task undone. Say it out loud. I am the one who executes. I am the one who finishes. I am the one who moves. And when that becomes your identity, there is nothing you can't achieve. Because the world bends to those who are too relentless to stop. Here's the brutal truth. Most people never change because nothing forces them to. No deadlines, no accountability, no cost for staying the same. And when there's no consequence for inaction, inaction becomes the norm. You say you want change, but you keep your goals hidden. You whisper your commitments to yourself, so no one can hear when you break them. That's not strength. That's a safety net for weakness. Because deep down you know, if no one's watching, you'll cut corners. You'll quit early. You'll talk a big game and never show up. No consequence, no commitment. That's how most people live. Safe, comfortable, silent. But winners play a different game. They create the pressure. They invite the fire. They force themselves into the fight. They say it out loud. They post their goals. They tell someone who won't let them off the hook. They put money on the line. They build an environment where failure is painful. Because that's what it takes. If the cost of quitting isn't high enough, you will quit. Create the fire or be consumed by it. Think about the last time you had a deadline. You moved fast. You stopped making excuses. You stopped negotiating with yourself. Why? Because there was pressure. Pressure is not the enemy. It's the catalyst. It's the force that burns away the nonsense and leaves only action. No one rises without it. So here's what you do. You build external pressure into your life. You set the deadline. You make the announcement. You pay the money. You tell the people. You put skin in the game. Because when you have something to lose, you will fight to win. And if you don't create that pressure, comfort will consume you. And you'll wake up 10 years from now, having moved nowhere. So ask yourself, what are you risking right now? What's the cost of failing? If there's no cost, then you're not really committed. You're just playing with the idea of success, but still sleeping in the bed of hesitation. Real commitment comes with weight, with blood in the game, with people watching, and with pain if you don't follow through. That's why elite athletes have coaches. That's why soldiers have commanders. That's why top performers make bold bets on themselves. They don't hope they'll stay disciplined. They build a system that makes failure unacceptable. So here's the order. Build your battlefield. Raise the stakes. Make the consequence of quitting so heavy that taking action becomes the only option. And when that pressure hits, when it wraps around your chest, when the heat is on and everything inside you screams for relief, you don't fold, you don't flinch, you move. Because pressure doesn't break the strong, it forges them. This is it. This is the moment where everything changes. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because you've heard enough. You've known what to do for a long time. And still, you've waited. You've hesitated. You've looked for signs. Prayed for motivation. Wished the fear would disappear. But the truth? You were never waiting for the world to change. You were waiting for you to decide. So here it is. The the death of delay, the end of excuses, the breaking of every chain you forged through inaction. This is where hesitation dies. This is where weakness gets left behind. This is the line, and you don't cross it tomorrow. You cross it now. Because if you don't, you will carry the same doubts into every year of your life. And they will eat you. They will wear you down until your potential is just a whisper in the dark. Something you almost chased, almost built, almost became, but almost doesn't count. No more waiting. No more overthinking. No more saying, I'll start when I feel ready. That version of you is dead now, buried beneath the weight of your next move. Because from this moment on, you are someone who executes every time, no matter what. You don't look for motivation. You create it through action. You don't wait for clarity. You earn it by moving through the fog. You don't wait for fear to go away. You march into it and force it to retreat. This is the truth. You've always had the power, but you've handed it over every time you delayed. So take it back. Stand up. Move. Now. Not later. Not after this video ends. Now decide. Move. And do not stop. Let the world feel your presence. Let your hesitation die in the shadow of your discipline. Let your actions speak so loud that fear has no room left to whisper. This is your moment. This is your war. This is your fire. So light it, feed it, and never look back. Because from now on, you are not someone who hopes. You are not someone who plans. You are someone who does. Every single time. Move. Now, or be left behind. It's done. You've made the decision. But now, you have to lock it in. Because the moment you leave the door cracked open, comfort will crawl back in. Doubt will sneak through the gap. And before you know it, you'll be right back where you started. No more options. From now on, action is not a choice. It's the default. It's the setting. It's who you are. You don't think about it. You don't debate it. You don't ask yourself how you feel about it. You just move. When your alarm goes off, you move. When the workout is scheduled, you move. When the opportunity arises, you move. Why? Because your escape plan is gone. Because you've burned the bridge that led back to weakness. Burn the escape plan. There is no turning around. No, maybe tomorrow. No, let me see how I feel. That's over. The only thing left is forward. You've tried giving yourself options. You've tried waiting until the time was right. You've tried letting your feelings drive the ship. And where did that get you? Stuck. Slower than you should be. Weighed down by what-ifs and could-have-beens. But this is different. This is war. From now on, you move because there is no other path. You move because standing still is not survival. It's death. And don't forget this. The ones who achieve everything aren't the ones who try. They're the ones who commit. The ones who remove the exit signs. The ones who eliminate the backup plans. The ones who say, I'm all in, and mean it. So ask yourself, what's still giving you a way out? Who are you still trying to impress with empty words? What lie are you still using to justify delay? Rip it out. Burn it down. Leave nothing behind but a clear road and a locked mindset. You do it, or you don't. You move, or you fade. You execute, or you evaporate into the background noise. This is it. You're no longer the person who needs convincing. You're no longer the person who checks how they feel first. You're no longer the person who wants to be disciplined. You are the one who is. And that means the work gets done. Every time. without fail, without options. Because now, it's not something you do. It's something you are. No more hesitation. No more negotiation. No more retreat. Just forward. Just fire. Just war. And war only ends when you win. You've moved. You've burned the excuses. You've locked it in. But this war isn't won with one decision. It's won through consistency. Not one day of action, but every day, every hour, every moment where the weaker version of you tries to return, and you choose to stay sharp instead. Small wins. Ruthless repetition. That's the strategy now. You don't need massive, dramatic success overnight. You need domination over the next 5 minutes, then the next 5 after that, then the next. Wake up when you said you would. Move when you said you would. Execute what you committed to, no matter how small. Because each of those wins is a brick. And brick by brick, you build the fortress of the new identity. You're not building hype. You're building evidence. Every time you finish what you start, you tell your mind, this is who I am now. Every time you move through resistance, you teach your body that it no longer holds the leash. Every time you push past the voice that says, just skip it, you break another chain. This is the habit of execution, the habit that separates those who dream from those who build. Because once it becomes a habit, it's no longer a fight. It's just how you live. You won't need a pep talk. You won't need reminders. You'll just move, like a weapon drawn from its sheath, like a machine programmed to finish what it starts. And over time, the world starts to notice. Because the results show, the progress compounds, and the person you used to be, the one who hesitated, the one who made excuses, the one who started but never finished, becomes unrecognizable. You've buried them. Under a mountain of actions taken, tasks executed, promises kept, and you've built something stronger in their place. A machine of consistency, a finisher, a force. So keep stacking the wins, even if they're small, even if they feel insignificant, because it's not the size of the action that changes your life. It's the pattern. You either repeat your old self, or you repeat greatness. And greatness? It's not a moment. It's not a spotlight. It's not a viral post or a quick victory. It's discipline, drilled into your bones, proven in the shadows, forged in the grind. So keep going, keep moving, keep proving to yourself that this isn't a phase. It's a way of life now. And once it's who you are, there's no force that can stop you. Because a person with consistency is more dangerous than one with talent, luck, or hype. This is your edge, and it's earned one win at a time. Look at what you've done. Not just what you've accomplished, but what you've become. You are no longer the one who watches. You are no longer the one who waits. You are no longer the one who dreams, but never moves. You've become the weapon. You don't need reminders anymore. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't even need motivation. You move because it's who you are now. You execute because your identity demands it. You finish because anything less feels like death. You used to hesitate. Now, you act without warning. You used to delay. Now, you deliver without mercy. You used to be ruled by fear. Now, fear flinches when it sees you coming. There is no going back. You've burned that version of yourself to ash. And from that fire, you've risen as something new, something lethal, something inevitable. Let the world watch. Let them doubt. Let them whisper about how you've changed. Because you have. And now, The storm is not something you fear. The storm is you. You are the pressure. You are the consequence. You are the reason average people get uncomfortable. Because your presence exposes their hesitation. Your action highlights their delay. Your consistency reveals their excuses. You don't follow anymore. You don't blend in. You lead. You disrupt. You dominate. This is the reward of discipline. Not praise, not applause, but power. Quiet, undeniable power. The kind that doesn't beg to be noticed. It commands it. So don't slow down. Don't ease up. Don't soften. Sharpen. Intensify. Deepen the groove of who you've become. Because this version of you, the one forged in fire and repetition, is rare, is dangerous, is unstoppable. You don't wait for life to hand you anything anymore. You take, you build, you conquer, and when doubt tries to crawl back in, when fear tries to whisper in your ear, you remind them who you are. You are the one who moves. You are the one who executes. You are the one who finishes what others never start. This is the final shift. From the one who once hoped, to the one who now acts. From the one who once feared, to the one the world fears now. You are no longer becoming the storm. You are the storm. And the world will move, or be moved. This is the new code. No more permission. No more waiting for a sign. No more asking the world if it's okay to rise. You rise because it's time. Because it's yours. Because you said so. You don't ask for alignment anymore. You create it. You don't wait for the path to clear. You tear through the jungle with your own two hands. Because now, you are the standard. When others hesitate, your speed makes them uncomfortable. When others sleep, your discipline becomes their reminder. When others talk, you're already executing. You've removed the gap between decision and action. You've silenced the debate. You've replaced emotion with motion. This is your law now. You don't follow rules built by the weak. You live by your own. Move, execute, dominate. There's no space for compromise, no tolerance for hesitation, no patience for mediocrity. What you touch, you finish. What you start, you drive to the end. What you commit to, you bleed for. This is the final identity, the edge most never reach, the mindset that separates you from 99% of the world. You are the one they'll never understand, the one they can't replicate, the one they'll call obsessed, until you're the one they all want to be. Let them stay in their cycles. Let them scroll, complain, and shrink. You don't even see them anymore, because your eyes are forward, your grip is tight, your jaw is set, and your pace is unbreakable. This is war, and war belongs to the one who shows up when it's ugly, when it's inconvenient, when the world would forgive you for quitting, but you don't, because quitting isn't an option. It's not even a thought. It was erased the moment you rewired your soul to move regardless. You're not waiting for life to test you anymore. You're testing yourself every day, every hour, every second. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need praise. You need the mirror to reflect one thing: that you showed up, that you executed, that you honored the code of the weapon, the code of the finisher, the code of the one who moves no matter what. No breaks, no detours, no mercy, just forward, always forward. This is who you are now, and there's no turning back. To the returning GrimFace warriors, you already know what this is. You felt the fire, you faced the mirror, and you keep coming back, not for comfort, but for the truth. We see you. We honor your discipline, and we're proud to fight beside you. To those who are new here, if something inside you stirred today, if something broke loose, if you felt the weight of your excuses crumble, then this is your signal. Not to watch, but to join. This is more than motivation. This is war against weakness. A movement for those who refuse to be average. A brotherhood. A sisterhood. A force. Subscribe now. Join the GrimFace movement. And take your place among the relentless. Because here, we don't wait. We don't negotiate. We execute. And the world will remember us for it.